Welcome back. Whenever a deal to bring a major company to Utah happens, there are lots of groups working behind the scenes to try to make it happen. The Economic Development Corporation of Utah is one of them. Teresa Foxley is the president and CEO of EDC Utah. She's here to talk more about the recent Facebook deal and other projects that they are working on. Teresa, welcome to Inside Utah Politics.
Thanks
Glad
for having
to
me,
have you
Glenn.
here.
Happy to be here.
Okay, so a lot of people may not be familiar with EDC Utah, so let's start off with a little bit of background, your mission. Let our viewers know exactly what it is you guys do.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the opportunity to explain a little bit about
You
it,
bet.
because I think it's fun and I'm passionate about it and I love to be able to talk about it. EDC Utah is a private nonprofit. We were founded 30 years ago with a mission to bring quality jobs and capital investment into the state. And if you think back to 30 years ago when we were founded, the state was really reliant on the extractive-based industries and on construction. And so a lot of business leaders formed this organization with the idea that Utah had a lot to offer companies, companies that were both in-state and out of state, and that we needed to diversify our economy. So our organization was really founded with that in mind, that we would do well as a state if our economy was diverse. And the good news is this idea and this concept really worked.
It sure did. Utah known as one of the most diverse economies in the entire country right now.
Exactly.
And we've seen a shift. What are you most surprised about? To see maybe the IT industry and what it has become here in our state?
The IT industry has just gone on this fantastic journey over the last 5, really 10 years. To the point that it is one of our fastest growing sectors and one of our largest sectors in the state. Having grown up in Utah, I could have not predicted that. It's really been a fun thing to watch and to be a part of.
Yeah, it's been amazing to see how our valley and our state has grown. Talk about funding. Where do you get your money from?
We are a public-private organization. We're a 501c6, and we have partnerships all throughout the state that help to fund our organization. So the private sector is a big part of what we do. The big utility companies, the banks, the insurers, those involved in development who believe that a rising tide is generally good for the community and for the economy. We have a great partnership, a contracted partnership with the Governor's Office of Economic Development, and work very closely with them. And then municipalities all throughout the state support the statewide economic development mission and are a part of our organization.
All right, let's bring the recent Facebook deal in Eagle Mountain into the picture now. Talk about the role that you played in helping bring Facebook to Eagle Mountain.
Well, it's such a fantastic story. About a year ago, we were with the governor on a business development visit to Northern California. And we were able to arrange a meeting between the governor and some Facebook executives to really say, hey, I think there's a value-added partnership there could be a value-added partnership between the state of Utah and between Facebook. And we encouraged them to take a look at Utah to see if there was an opportunity for them to invest in the state. We followed up with a great visit to the company between our organization, the then mayor of Eagle Mountain City, Chris Pangra, and their company to see again if there could be a fit. We did what all good salespeople do, and we kept following up with them. And finally in October they said, you know what, our capacity needs are such that we are going to continue to build data centers, and we want to see what Utah has to offer. So we were able to put about 11 sites in front of the company for their consideration, and they do a significant amount of diligence on these. This is critical infrastructure for them. It's obviously a huge investment. Just this first phase is a $750 million investment. And so they want to make sure that they're going to be in a great community, that they can get net new renewable energy, that the soils and the engineering work can all be completed, and that they'll also have room to grow for the future. And so one of the things that our organization does is we just pull things together. We pull together the right partners, whether that's the community, engineering firms who can help do some of the service provider work, and we really try and shepherd a great process.
All right, when deals like this come about, that there are those that say, hey, look, you're giving away the farm here. So what's your argument for making the type of deals that are made in this instance and the benefit you see it bringing to the community? Yeah,
that's a great question, one that we really love to be able to provide some education on, which is all of this is net new investment into the state. And so while the incentives are a big part of this, and public finance is a big part of any capital intensive project, I always like to look at the other side of the ledger and remind everyone that the land today was not producing very much tax revenue for the local entities. And this is in one of the fastest growing school districts and a school district within the state that could use some additional funding. And so even following all of the incentives that will be offered to attract the company to be here, there is a 1.2 million percentage increase in the amount of annual tax revenue that the local entities will collect. They'll go from collecting $66 a year on the property to $837,000 per year. And so that's a huge increase.
The infrastructure that Facebook is bringing in that the city will be able to tap into.
Exactly. I'm so glad you mentioned that, because the company is front-loading the cost of about $120 million in infrastructure. And by that, I mean power, water, sewer, fiber optics, road, that is owned by the public utilities or by the municipalities. And so other organizations down the line will be able to invest, use that infrastructure, and expand Eagle Mountain's tax base even further.
Okay, we only have about 30 seconds left, but what else are you guys working on? What's important to you at this point?
We're interested in continuing to diversify the economy, and we are really interested in attracting additional transformative investment throughout the state through a program that we call mega sites. And that is designed to bring really big employers and really big investment into the state that can help communities position themselves for long-term prosperity.
All right, appreciate your time. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Glenn.
You bet. Coming up Tuesday is decision day for primary voters. The Inside Utah Politics panel is going to be breaking down some of the big races to watch. That's right after the break. Stay with us.